Welcome to Titans for Life. My name is James. You may see me as Titans for Life or Big Sportsman on YouTube when I do comments and stuff like that. I have two different accounts. One's a personal account that I use for that, and one's strictly for Titans for Life. Thank you for joining me today. This channel is dedicated to Tennessee Titans fans everywhere. I ask only one thing on this channel: be nice to one another. Go when your comments down below, all that kind of stuff. You don't get nasty, get mean, make fun of somebody. If they don't know, they don't know. They're here to learn. We're going to teach them. It's okay. Don't belittle anybody for not knowing something. Hey, we all had to start somewhere. We welcome all Titans fans. In fact, we welcome all football fans in general. So if you're a fan of another team, that's cool. Come on, comment down below. We'll talk about your team. Titans have to play somebody. We got to get out there, whoop up on somebody. Got to get ready for postseason somehow. So, I'm just kidding, So just kind of comment down below whether you're a Titans fan or a fan or a football or getting into football, trying to understand football. Comment down below, and I will answer any questions if I know the answer. And if I don't know the answer, I bet you I'll find someone who will explain it to me, and I will come around and explain it to you. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to Titans Rossi, Titan Upload Network, Lee Hillis at 615 Podcast, Titans and Truth, and Titans Anderson, because those guys are the guys that really got me inspired to do this channel. And if you like the content, remember, hit that like button down below, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you can get the ring-a-ling-a-ling when I put something up, because I put stuff up all the time. This is my third video this week. So I want you to, I want you to know that not always will I be able to put up 3 or 4 or anything like that, but I will go and do it quite often throughout the week. The Titans are in we're in that final part of the season where we're coming into. It's looking more and more likely if the Titans win. Our magic number is now down to 1, so we win one game, or the Colts lose a game, we win the division. We are one game out of first place in the AFC in the conference, which means that if we win out and the Kansas City Chiefs lose a game, we win the division. And if all else stays the same. So the Titans are in a race for the division, or not the division, the conference. I'm sorry. The Titans are in a race for the conference. We could be the #1 overall seed in the conference. When everybody thought the Titans were dead and stanking, we're sitting out there going, we're not, it reminds me of that Monty Python, bring out your dead. I'm not dead. But yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Well, you'll be dead soon. Well, the Titans didn't die. They came out. They played. They won games. And now the Titans are in a really good position to win the AFC. Not just the AFC South, but the AFC. One of the things that I wanted to talk about is a video I put up earlier where I covered Zach Cunningham and what I thought about him. And now I'm more confused than I am anything else about Zach Cunningham. When I watched him play in this game, I went back and I watched the video on him. I watched the tape on him. When he was in college all the way up to the NFL, he had, he showed flashes of really good speed in college. He was kind of more of a sideline thing. In college, he could go anywhere, do anything. He was a true inside/middle linebacker that could play several different positions and had the ability to do a lot of things in college. Then when I watched him with Houston, he didn't seem to have that kind of range. He didn't seem to have that kind of horizontal speed where he could go sideline to sideline. He showed a lot of straight line speed. Then we get to this Titans game against the 49ers, and that's where I started getting confused, because I started seeing things from him that I hadn't seen from him since college. he had that lateral speed. He had that lateral speed back. He was going sideline to sidelines. He was all over the field. I mean, you would have thought that that he was a part of the field the way he was. I mean, he was everywhere. He seemed to be either in every play or very close to being in every play. Where if the running back makes a cutback, he's right there. If the receiver's running a shallow crossing route, he's right there. He seemed to be everywhere all the time, and that really kind of confused me when I was watching the game at the stadium. And so I went back and I watched the film. The first person I watched was Dylan Radins. When I got back, I started watching him, stayed up to 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, watching video on him that day. Then went back and watched Dylan Radins and Zach Cunningham again the next day. And then when the All 22 came out, I watched it 2, 3, 4 times trying to figure out, okay, what's going on here? It seems to me that really what's going on here is something has to be going on in Houston. If I'm watching his tape from the 49ers game and I'm watching Houston's tape, I'm looking at two different players. It's not almost, it is two different players. And if I'm Houston, I'm asking my coaching staff, why couldn't y'all get that out of him here? I don't understand, because he was phenomenally good at being all over the field. He showed pep in his step. He showed his ability to think quickly, to react quickly, to read the offense. Sometimes it looked like he knew what the offense was going to do before they did. So it's kind of confusing for Zach, for Zach. I think he can play that inside linebacker position now, whereas before, I really didn't think he could. I thought that he was more of an outside linebacker that could come in and hook in and scrape that line of scrimmage and find the open hole, and then use his straight line speed to get to the quarterback. But now now that I'm looking at his lateral movement, but once again, this is a sample size of 1. Don't want to put too much emphasis on it, just like we didn't want to put too much emphasis on Dylan Radins' first start at left tackle. I don't want to put too much emphasis on this. I want to see more tape. I want to see more play of him at that inside linebacker position and the way he looked this last game. It's just confusing to me. I spoke with several people who are both experts on experts on football and not, and the one theme that kept coming up over and over and over again was that maybe Zach Cunningham just wasn't happy where he was at. Maybe he wasn't happy in Houston, which has kind of been a dumpster fire for several months since the summer. It's been kind of a dumpster fire there. So I'm just kind of wondering if maybe that's it. Maybe he wasn't playing very well because Houston, just the organization itself, wasn't very good. Or maybe he was just unhappy there. He seems to be happy here. He seems to be integrating into the defense and integrating into the team very well, and the organization. They seem to like him. People talk very highly of him. That he, and some of the shenanigans that he was pulling down off the field and on the field in Houston, maybe those were just aberrations of just a person unhappy. Sometimes when you're unhappy in a relationship, you got to get out. And maybe that's what he's just doing. He was just, now that he's out of the relationship, he's free to go out there and play the way he can play. But I don't know. It's very confusing to me. Usually you see a player is what a player is. And in this particular time, it might not be. It might not be the case. Zach Cunningham, probably one of the biggest conundrums that I've faced as someone who is analyzing players in the NFL and in high school and college and all that kind of stuff, and Pee Wee all the way up, just analyzing, trying to take a look at players. Sometimes you can see things and then not believe them. And then sometimes you just never see it. And then all of a sudden they do it and you go, what? And you do it again. And then they go out there and do it again. If Zach Cunningham plays again like this over the next 2 games, then it has to be what's going on in Houston. He had to be something unhappy about it. He just didn't like the situation or whatever. But all I can tell you is that this last game, he did not play like that. He had not played like that since he was in college, and that is very confusing to me. So, every once in a while, you should have seen it in Houston where he should have shown great flashes of lateral movement, and I just never really saw that in any of the tape that I saw. But I saw that great lateral movement in college, and I saw above average lateral movement in college, and I saw a slightly above average lateral movement to average lateral movement in Houston. But this last game against the 49ers, man, I saw, wow. I mean, wow, that was a steal. I mean, the Titans might, they might need to go turn themselves into police for stealing, because they just stole him. So anyway, that's just where I wanted to. And when I make a mistake, I want to admit, hey, I made a mistake. I didn't see something. Something wasn't there in the film that I didn't see. So, just being straightforward and straight honest with you guys. Look, I didn't assess him as being that because I didn't see it in the film. But, hey, he played like it. So, I just always like, when I keep it real, I don't mean just keep it real on the good side and the positive notes when I'm right or whatever. I mean, keep it real even when you're wrong. Say, look, I didn't see it. So I just didn't see it. Maybe I was wrong. But let's just keep it at that he can play. Zach can play, boy. ZC can play. So, and that's all I wanted to say about Zach Cunningham at this point. I want to see some more film on it. I want to see him do it consistently on a week-by-week basis with this Titans team. And if he does do that, then I'm just going to say, hey, look, them folks down there in Houston, they don't know what they're doing. But if he doesn't do it, then then we'll have to say that Zach, maybe it was an aberration. Maybe it was the Titans' defensive line is so good that they were able to keep people off of him so that he could make those lateral movements and wouldn't have to weave in and out. I just don't know at this point. Once again, it's a very, very, very minuscule, very small sample size of one game. We're going to see this over the next few weeks, and then we're going to see it again when we go play Houston. We're going to see how that happens. Ooh, if he plays like that when he go down there and see Houston, I tell you what, them Texans. Well, they got them, them big old steer horns and stuff like that. Zach going to have some steak. He gonna have him some T-bone while he over there, some porterhouse. But, oh yeah, wanted to say one more thing before I got off here. I want you to remember that tonight I'm going to be on Titans Rossi's channel at 7 Central. So tune in for that. 7 Central, Titans Rossi's channel. We're going to be talking about a lot of these things right here. We're going to be talking about a whole different things. We're going to be taking questions from the chat and all that. So watch that show tonight. Tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time, Titans Rossi's channel. Anyway, I'm going to get off here right now. I'm going to tell you, hit that like and subscribe button down below. Titans for life. Ring that bell notification so that you can get notifications on us. And always, Titans for life says, keep it real.